Hello, this is Norma and welcome to my channel. If you're a subscriber, thanks for coming back, and if you're new, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification button so each time I upload you will be notified. And if you can hear some noise in the background, I got a lot of cooking going on and people walking up and down, so excuse the noise. But today I'm gonna be cooking egusi soup and fufu, and I'm gonna be doing it backwards. So I've already cooked and I'm gonna eat it and then show you how to cook it in the back end. Well, egusi soup, if you don't know what it is, it's melon seeds and it's all blended, and they have different ways to do it, and I'll show you how to do mine. And I see a lot of times people put like goat meat. You don't have to only use goat meat, you can use anything you want. Some people eat it with their hands. You don't have to do that either. If you want to use spoon, you can use that, but I'm not going to be using a spoon. I'm going to use my hand. And then they have a lot of kind of fufu, and I see people hit it. You don't have to hit it either because hitting is not going to do anything. So they have different kind of fufu. Like this one that I made is made out of yam. And sometimes if you have like a mortar at home, back in Africa they usually like beat it, but this is yummy. So they have this one that's made out of yam, like I say, and then they have some that's made out of plantain. Excuse me, it's yummy. It's made out of plantain, and then you have some that's made out of plantain and cassava. And so another thing why I want to teach you how to do it, because I see a lot of people that order it are saying that it's very spicy. So if you learn how to do it, if you're new to African food and you learn how to do it and you like it, instead of buying it and it's too spicy, you can make it and cut the spice out. And if there's any other food you want to learn how to make, just drop me a line and I'll tell you. So this one, I have some dry fish in there. I have some roasted meat. I have shrimp. I have cow foot. It's yummy. This one is not too spicy though. I did put some pepper in there. It's not that spicy. I also see people have been trying to try other foods. So if you look back in some of my other channels, you will see some of the other African food that I've made. And most of the ingredients, like the egusi and the palm oil, some people use tomato if you don't want to put palm oil. But if you want to put palm oil, you can get that at the African store. And sometimes you can get that at the Asian market. And the melon seed, you can get that at the African store. This one, when I made mine, I put some dried barracuda, and I got that in the African store. And like I said, you can put anything you want to do. If you want to do it a vegan way, you can do that also. And don't put any meat in there. I wish you were here to try it. It is yummy. And maybe you might try once, because most of these food, if it's something new to you and you didn't grow up on it, it's an acquired taste, so you might try it one time and don't like it. But if you try it 2 or 3 times, you might like it. This is a cow foot. And I boiled it, so it's very soft. I put some kick in mine. So though I've been cooking on my channel, what prompted me to do this one and eat and talk to you is because I've seen people trying a lot of the West African food. I understand it's an acquired taste. A lot of times you didn't grow up on something. And people eat all kinds of stuff all over the world. Some people eat octopus, chicken feed, chitlins. And if you didn't grow up on them, you might not like it, but you can still be respectful of what others eat. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but spitting it out on camera and just going off, I don't think that's being respectful. And I'm telling you, sometimes you might look at something. I remember once, the way I make my crab, the way I grew up making my crab is we take the back out and then we clean it and we take the gill and we take everything out. And so somebody invited me to their house and they were not from where I grew up. And so she made her food and she kept the back on the crab. She just split it in the sides, didn't clean it, and just put it in her food and cooked it. And though I didn't grow up like that, I didn't say, why did you do that? I didn't spit it out. I just didn't take it. I took everything else except that. So you can do that if you don't like a certain food. But I'm telling you, sometimes if you just give yourself some time and try something. And another thing I saw some people doing is taking the food, the Egusi and the fufu, and smelling it. And let's think about it. How many times have we gone to the restaurant, whatever restaurant, and they bring the food and they bring the drink and then we smell it? We don't do that. How many times if we're busy and we go to McDonald's and we go to Taco Bell and they bring the drink and we smell it? We don't do that. So I think when we try foods from different culture, I don't think it's right, but just to automatically take it and smell it. Now if you took something out and it smelled bad, like you take some milk to drink and it smells bad, that's different. But just assume because it's from a different culture, you have to smell it. I don't think that's right. But anyway, I'm happy that some people are willing to try our African food. And we have several. Don't forget, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. So we have all kinds of food. And sometimes not trying food you're missing out. So I just wanted to have a little talk with you. And like I said, I've already cooked, I'm eating, and I'm going to upload it. And if there's any other food you want to learn, and if you like it and you want to do it yourself, just let me know. Today we're going to be making some egusi. It's melon seed, and they make a sauce out of it. Sometimes you can make the egusi with spinach. You can add spinach, you can add the melon leaves, but I'm not going to be making it like that today. Today I'm just going to be making it plain. And I'm also going to make some pounded yam, but I'm going to be doing it in the microwave. So I'll show you how I do that one. And to make my egusi, I have some cow foot. I have some dried barracuda. I'm going to put this in some hot water to break some off, and I'll take some out. And I have some neck bones. I have some hot habanero peppers. I have red onion. I have some shrimp that's been deveined, and the middle part I've taken it off. Like, I don't know if that's what it walk on, but I've taken that off. And I have some dried pork and beef that I seasoned and I have put in my microwave, and one day I'll show you, I mean in my oven, one day I'll show you how to do it. I have some red oil. I have a Maggi cube, garlic powder, salt, some black pepper, some seasoned oil, some adobo seasoning, and the Knorr chicken seasoning. You don't have to season yours like the way I do mine, but that's the way I do mine. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my fish that is very dry, and I'm going to put some water on the stove, and I'm going to drop it in there and make it boil and soften it up to break some pieces off. And that's what I'm going to use to put in my food. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. So I have the fish on the stove in some water, and I have a little bit of water in here. I'm going to put my pepper, and I'm going to put my onions, and take that over to my blender and blend that. And I'll be back. Okay, I have my fish that's back there. I told you I have it in some hot water. And then here I have a pot. I'm going to put my cow foot in there because that takes a longer time. And some of my neck bones. I'm going to put all the pepper and onion that I blended. I'm going to put some adobo seasoning. And like I say, you can season to taste. I have a little bit of salt. Garlic powder. Some Knorr chicken seasoning. Some black pepper. And some seasoned salt. I'm going to give this a good stir. And cover my pot and let that boil for about 45 minutes because the cow foot is hard, and we want to make sure it's softened a little bit before I add the other stuff. So I'll be back. Okay, so the fish, I had it in the hot water like I told you, and I'm going to take some of it out. I'm not going to use all of it. And just cut them in the size that you want. So come over to my stove and I'll show you the stuff that's been boiling. So everything has been boiling and I'm adding the meat that I have roasted. I'm going to add the fish, and it's smoked so it's a little bit harder. And I'm going to add the shrimp. We're going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it back down to medium and let it cook, and we're going to move on to the egusi. And we're going to move on to the egusi, the melon seed that's blended. So I have some water in here, just tap water. Open it up and dump it in here and stir it up. I'm going to fry it, and so I just want to stir it in some water before I fry it. So it's this consistency, and we're going to move over to my stove. So we're moving on to the egusi, and I have some palm oil, and I'm going to pour it in my pot. And I want it to get hot a little bit. And the thing with the egusi, I'm going to fry it first. When you fry it, make sure you don't put any salt, because if you put salt in it, it's going to kind of like be nutty, and you don't want it that way. So now that the oil is hot, I'm going to pour my egusi in it. And I'm going to start frying it. I'm going to fry this about 15 minutes while my meats are continuing to cook. So it's going to fry, and I'll show you after 15 minutes what it looks like. So it's been frying for 15 minutes, and I was stirring it as it fried. And remember, I said when you fry it, don't put any salt as you're frying it. Now it's been 15 minutes. I'm going to take all my meats and pour it in there with the sauce. If you need to add any more seasoning, any more salt or seasoning, this is the time to do it, when you take it from here and put all your meats and your sauce in there. But I taste it in, and I don't need to add anything else. So I have this on medium. I'm going to continue to let it cook. And I'm going to move on to doing my fufu. Again, but I like to make mine with boiling water. So let me see. I always do it just freestyle it, but since some people don't know how to do it, I will try to do some measurements and see. I think this is 2 cups of the pounded yam. So I'm going to pour that in here and put the first 2 cups of water. Usually when we do it, we don't measure. But like I say, if you've never done it, it'll be easier if you have some idea of where to start. So I still need some more water. So now I've got it was 2 cups of pounded yam mix and 2 cups of hot water, and I'm putting another cup in there. Stir it around. Fufu and pounded yam is the same thing. Some they just make it with flour, with cassava. Some of them they make it with yam, and some is made with plantain. Some is made with you can mix the cassava and the plantain. So it's all fufu, but it's just different stuff they use to make it. And I'm going to put a little bit more hot water in there. So first I did 2 cups of the pounded yam fufu mix and 2 cups of hot water. Then I put another cup of hot water, and I just added maybe like a third more. And now that I beat it all up, I'm going to cover it with a plate, and I'm going to put it in my microwave and let it cook for about 7 minutes. And I'll be back. Okay, so I took it out after the first 7 minutes and just beat it around again. And if the plate is too hot for you, you can just use something to hold it. And I'm going to put it back in the microwave, cover it again, and put it back in the microwave for another 7 minutes. And by then, the egusi will be ready, and I will plate it. So I took it out, and I'm beating it again. And now I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to plate the fufu and plate my egusi, and I'll be back. And my egusi is all ready. My egusi and fufu is all ready, and I hope you try my recipe. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button, and when I upload, you will be the first to be notified. Bye bye.